Welcome to the channel. In this week's episode, Thomas continues his journey on the Couch to 5K programme. I take what could potentially be my race day shoe option for our interval session. And we managed to visit an airport without travelling anywhere. This is Aero Dan Runs, I'm Daniel, and this is my first ever marathon journey. It's week 10 in marathon training here, but before we get into this week's activities, a touch on this week's topic, and that is running shoes. Now I've got 5 different options to show you here, which I'm currently using in my marathon shoe rotation, from those that I use for very slow runs up to what could potentially be my race day option. And just to be clear folks, these are not running shoe reviews, however that could be potentially something we look at doing later on down the line. These are just my thoughts on the shoes which I'm currently using. And kicking things off, the shoe which I use for my easy or recovery day runs, and that is these, the Asics Nova Blast 3s. They've currently been superseded by version 5, however I have had these for around 18 months or so and currently logged 563 kilometers in this particular pair of yellow and pastel blue. Probably not the best colourway for UK weather, however this shoe has been absolutely brilliant for those easy or recovery day runs with that huge stack of foam at the back and that slight drop going down towards the front. I highly recommend this shoe, probably in its newer guise version 5. Next to the shoe which I also use for some of my easy runs, but if I'm looking for a pair of shoes that I just want to put on, head out the door and go running, maybe off to park run, then I'll use something like this. These are the Saucony Endorphin Speed 4s. I absolutely love these, they're great at easy pace, but then if you do want to just turn the wick up a little bit and step on it, then you can with that half plate that's in there and that great stack of race day foam that's underneath. Up next in my marathon shoe rotation is the shoe which I've been using for all of my long runs, whether that be at conversational pace or whether I need to put a little bit of pace in there as well. And that's these, the Asics Super Blast 2s. Often referred to as the king of the long run, I can testify that the hype is real and this is a fantastic option for those long runs. These are probably not in the best colourway for the UK weather that we're currently facing. However, I do absolutely rate these shoes and I highly recommend them too. For all of my track day sessions, tempo runs or intervals, I'm currently using these, the Adidas Adizero Takumi Sen 8. Currently, iteration 10 is available out there, however I was able to pick up these for a huge discounted price on Start Fitness, paying only £80 for this pair of shoes. I use them for everything that I'm doing interval wise, and I've currently got 182 kilometers racked up in this particular pair, and they still look as good as they did on the day that I bought them. And finally, it's my current race day shoe. It's the Saucony Endorphin Pro 3. This particular pair were my first ever pair of race day shoes, and I've currently got 117 kilometers in these. I've got my 10k PB and half marathon PB in this particular pair, and there's a huge chance that I'll be taking these onto the London Marathon. Now I'd be really interested to hear what shoes you have in your marathon rotation, so please feel free to drop a comment below and let me know what you're using on your current training plan. And before we get into this week's episode, just to ask you to please like, subscribe and drop a comment below just to help the YouTube algorithm. And for next week, there will be a slight change to how the videos come out. There will be 2 videos launched, with one showing the training runs which I've done for the week and another being a race day vlog, because we are off to the London Winter Run. Now without further ado, we pick things up at the gym on Wednesday for our interval session. And we begin week 10 with an interval session. Just for me, Thomas is going to also be doing his Couch to 5K week 1 run 2 and an upper body workout. Let's get in. So folks, for today's workout Wednesday, we've got ourselves an awesome interval session, one of my personal favourites. It's called the 4-3-2-1. A 2 kilometre warm-up, followed by 4 kilometres at a given pace,
3 kilometers, 2 kilometers and 1 kilometer, with the speed coming down for each rep. And along with that, and probably more importantly, Thomas is going for his run number 2 of week 1, couch to 5K. That's our 2K warm-up nearly complete. Time to get into our first rep. First rep of 4 kilometers done, and Thomas has already completed run 2 of week 1, couch to 5K. Being the hero that he is, he's still running. I have warned him not to overdo it though. So I'm going to get the rest of this walking rest in, then we'll get into the next rep of 3 kilometers. And that's coming towards the end of the rest period, getting ready for our 4th and final rep. 1 kilometer at 5K pace. Let's get after it. Well folks, that brings a close to Workout Wednesday. It certainly was a good one today with that interval session, and Thomas of course got done what he needed to in the gym as well. So indeed. Thomas, what did you do?
I did my run 2 of week 1 of couch to 5K because you've got some work to do here, Dan. But you know, start of a long journey, but everyone got to start somewhere, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely, and that's by your own admission, and you've got to feel comfortable in yourself. It's not about anyone else's opinion, it's about how you feel about yourself inside. For me personally, to be able to conquer an interval session after what happened last week really is a huge positive, and that's the main thing that I'm going to take away from today. So from here we move on to the next. Well, hello folks, it's Friday, it's time for the easy run, 15 kilometers at a conversational pace, and don't be fooled by the sunglasses, it's still very cold. Just through 5Ks in around 31 minutes, averaging a pace of about 6 minutes 15 per kilometer. Feeling good. Let's push on. And that's us through 10K, folks. 1 hour and 3 minutes, keeping that pace of around 6 minutes 10 per K. Legs are feeling good, and we're enjoying this one. Hope you are too. Folks, that's our 15K easy run all done and dusted. The mileage sure is ramping up this week, as it does for the next few weeks as well, and I am definitely looking forward to it. We got a few sprints in there just in that last kilometre, just to extend the legs and ensure that they still know what a quick pace all is, and I can confirm that my legs are feeling good. We move on to the next one. It's a long run on Sunday. Well, good morning folks. The sun has only just come up on a Saturday morning, and it's time for our strength and conditioning workout with a lower body focus. Let's cue that music and let's get into this session.
I've been to heaven, I've done my best and my worst, learned my lessons. No matter how hard my life would treat me, I'd always get right back up, never worry, 'cause I got a million ways to win and overcome.
Well folks, that's our strength and conditioning lower body focus workout all complete. I really enjoyed that one. I'm certainly feeling the benefit of it already. Looking forward to getting into next week's sessions, and I hope you enjoyed it too. Good morning all. Wow, it's cold. Sunday morning, it's not been light for long, and we're out on our 29-kilometre long run, all at a conversational pace. And just to add to the spice, I'm coming down with a cold as well, so I'm incredibly nasally, not that you needed to know that. So that's just going to add to the challenge. Let's get going. And that's our first 30 minutes in. I'm going to stick to the same fueling strategy which I used last week, which seemed to work with those SIS beta filled gels. This week we're trialing something a little bit different. We've got these from KMC. I've got two varieties with me today, the raspberry and mint, as well as the lime and mint with added caffeine. The benefit of these gels is that they contain added electrolytes inside, which means it's just less extra things to take on your run. Let's see how they go. And just like that, we are 1 hour in and it's time for our next gel. This time we've got the lime and mint variety with the added caffeine. As of yet, I'm not entirely sure what route I'd like to take today, but let's just see how it goes. Right then, now that the ablutions have been visited, welcome to Luton Airport. Bang on 1 hour and 30 minutes, and we are 15 Ks in, which means it's time for gel number 3. Let's get it done. Just creeping up now on 25K, just over 2.5 hours in. Time for our last gel. Let's go. And that's our long run all complete. I got to 29 kilometers there and thought, why not? Another one, and it'd be my longest run ever. So I carried on 30 kilometers in the bag, 3 hours and a few bits of change, and I could not be happier with that. So that's all of our mileage complete for the week. Another really successful training week here, and we move on to week number 11.
And that brings this week's episode to a close. Thank you very much indeed for tuning in. If you'd like to see what happened in last week's episode, then you'll find details of that in the video, which is just up here. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you, and to you all, bye-bye for now.